So I would like to say hello to Facebook land and to YouTube, where I'll probably be sharing this afterwards. I'm just hopping on to share live around forgiveness. As some of you may have seen, the beings of Absolute Light have asked me to bring through a 40-day forgiveness journey, which begins on the 20th of this month and will run through August 28th. And so I just wanted to come on and share what forgiveness means to me, because forgiveness has been such a huge and important part of my own journey. This 40-day forgiveness journey is something that I've worked with myself on a number of occasions, and I feel that forgiveness really has the potential to create profound miracles in our lives, both in terms of the internal shifts and changes that we see, and then very often those also radiating out into our external reality, and we can see huge shifts and changes very often with the person or the event or the situation that we are bringing the energy of forgiveness to. So I really just want to just go into a sharing of when I think of forgiveness, what is the energy that comes in for me. And the first thing that I really feel is that forgiveness is such a fundamental pillar of love, a very divine attribute of love. It asks us in many cases, especially when some of the things that have been enacted against us in the 3D world have truly been extremely painful experiences for us. We have truly been on the receiving end of some potentially destroying experiences in our lives. And so I feel like forgiveness first, it asks us to expand beyond that human self and to really come into the embodiment of the higher self. The higher self's love, the love that the higher self holds for us, and then also the perspective that the higher self has for the world around us is so much more elevated than the human one. And when we can step into the embodiment of the higher self, I truly feel that it enables us to bring the energy of forgiveness little by little. I'm not saying it happens overnight, of course, it's a process, but to events that we would never have imagined we would be able to bring the energy of forgiveness to. And if this is triggering for anyone, I do apologize. I know that there can be things in our lives, there have been things in my life that it would seem, just thinking about it, that it would be impossible to bring the energy of forgiveness to. And yet I have really been in an active inquiry through my life of bringing this energy of forgiveness in on a very deep level. What I've discovered is that it's actually often easier to forgive others than it is to forgive yourself. But true forgiveness also encompasses self, and forgiveness of self is absolutely needed before we can be fully healed. So forgiveness as a fundamental aspect of love and of divine love, and of us choosing to express as more love and divine love in the world. and at the same time recognizing that we don't need to force ourselves to get to that place. And for myself, I have found that when I align with the higher self, it's much easier to bring that energy of forgiveness through. But I feel that all we really need is a willingness, a desire. We want to be in more of a state of forgiveness. We have this openness to being able to expand into it. And if we have that openness, that willingness there for divine source to work with us and in us, and our higher self to come through us, then we really can access a level of forgiveness that at the beginning of the journey perhaps we can't even imagine ourselves reaching or getting to. And I truly feel that forgiveness is much more about ourselves than it is about any other person. When we forgive, we first and foremost, we heal our own hearts. And forgiving doesn't mean that we are saying that the action or the words that were enacted against us are in any way acceptable. But it means that we are choosing to come into a state of healing around them. And that is where our empowerment lies. I truly believe that, because we cannot change that which has happened, but by changing the way that we interact with it, we truly create a huge degree of healing in our life, to the extent that I feel that miracles truly unfold and we see amazing shifts when we can really step into the energy of forgiveness. And forgiveness for me is also the energy of life. When we hold back forgiveness and we make that choice unconsciously, I think it's the default, and forgiveness is what we choose. But when we are unconsciously choosing the default to remain in the resentment or the bitterness or the hurt or the pain, and again, as I'm saying, it's a journey, a spectrum, and we can't expect those to all disappear overnight. But when we choose to remain only in those energies and to keep all our focus on them, then actually we are hurting ourselves. They're just not good feeling energies to be in. They lower our frequency, and more than anything, I feel that they are not aligned with the truth that we came here at this time to really experience ourselves as. We came here at this time to experience ourselves as a more expansive love than has been known or experienced in most of our previous human lifetimes. And I think that is why many of us, especially those who are on the Ascension and Awakening journey, and this 40-day forgiveness journey is not just for those on the Ascension or Awakening path, although I believe we're all on those paths, whether we are consciously on them and interacting with them or not. It truly is for anyone who would like to step more into that energy of forgiveness. But I believe that those of us who did come here to lead an active role as way showers, as leaders of the new earth energy and what it looks like to embody that, I believe that many of us chose very difficult life experiences to enter into and to encounter as we go through our lives. And partly that is to expand our hearts into a more unconditional, a more all-accepting, all-embracing love. And I feel that is what ultimately the difficult experiences in my life have opened me to be able to open to more of that. And I feel that when we choose forgiveness, we choose life. First for ourselves, we choose our health. If we just stay stuck in those negative emotions of resentment and pain and reliving that every day, we are telling ourselves, we're giving ourselves messages that make them feel constricted and small, and they can't breathe in as much light. And then when we open, we decide, even if it might be the hardest decision that we are going to make, that we are going to attempt, we are going to be open to the possibility of finding more forgiveness around this, then our heart expands. And as we work on finding that greater degree of forgiveness, not only does it bring us much more peace, much more joy, much more vitality, much more health and wellness in our life. The cells, on a cellular level, we respond as well, which of course creates the more vital and healthy cell. And it also brings us back to our home, to our truth of who we are and who we came to experience ourselves in the embodiment of. And when we do get stuck in the energy of unforgiveness, it is like the life flow in our body is not able to flow. It gets blocked, it gets constricted. And the more that we can open our hearts to the potential of forgiveness, to the willingness to try to forgive, then the more life and love that we allow to flow through ourselves again. And I truly believe that forgiveness is the greatest act of love that we can give ourselves, because it helps us to reach a greater state of peace within us. So ultimately, it is about our well-being and our happiness, our joy, our peace. And for me, that peace of heart is one of the most beautiful, profound parts of our human experience, and is definitely something worth protecting and fighting for, by making that sometimes difficult decision. I know, I am truly aware of that, to come into a greater embracing of the energy of forgiveness towards the various actors and situations and so forth in our life. And so if you feel that you would like to explore a deeper level of forgiveness in your life, I do invite you to step into the 40-day journey, beginning, as I said, on July 20th, next Monday, running through August 28th. We will be coming together live on Zoom pretty much every day. There may be a couple of days when I'm away, when I will send out a pre-prepared video instead. And just sitting together in stillness, really centering in the energy of our true self. And then the beings of Absolute Light have provided some Reiki activated prayers. We are going to be speaking together. I'm going to share a PDF with the group with the prayers on, so you can read them with me. And then we are also going to receive powerful clearing activations to also support us. I truly believe, not just around the energy of forgiveness, around anytime we make a greater commitment to ourselves, the universe really steps in and doubles, triples, and quadruples the match of that commitment. And so what the beings of Absolute Light are going to be sharing are some very powerful activations to really help that energy of forgiveness to expand within our hearts. And this is something that I really wanted to make accessible for people, because I feel like it's so important at this time that we are shifting some of that density that still lives within us, because as a result of experiences that we have had in the world in 3D, it's only natural that it's there. But the more that we are able to truly process that, truly release that, then the more that we are able to integrate the higher dimensional light coming into the planet at this time. And it is my understanding that with the activations that the beings of absolute light are going to bring through for us, is going to make this a journey into forgiveness a smoother, an easier process for us. We don't need to go back and look at all the details and relive them. We are going to be supported to come into the embodiment of a higher state of forgiveness in a way that is more grace-filled and ease-filled for us. And that is what I really feel is the gift that I want to share with people at this time. And if it resonates with you, as I said, I've tried to make it very accessible. It's $55 for the entire 40 days. And I will put the link in the comments for anybody who would like to look at the website page further. So if this speaks to your heart, I do invite you to step in. If you have experienced miracles of forgiveness in your life, seen shifts in yourself, in situations, through bringing the energy of forgiveness to them, I'd love for you to share around that. And I truly hope that we can create such shifts and internal, and then radiating out into external miracles in our own lives as we step into this journey together. And so thank you so much for your time and for just taking a few moments out of your day to spend this time with me. And I'm sending much love and light to all, and many blessings for you on your journey, wherever you're at.